Hi everybody, this is Scott Sharp with Fretboard Toolbox, and today we're going to use a complete piano edition to look at four scales that you're going to want to know to play along in the key of C. We'll look at C major, the C major pentatonic scale, and then a couple bluesy scales. We'll look at the C minor pentatonic scale, and then we'll look at the C blues scale and show you how to visualize those all up and down the piano. Let me show you how it works. Okay, to visualize the scales that you're going to want to use to play along in the key of C, there will be a few scales that you can play that will give you a couple different sounds. But for all of it, we're going to look at the C major page and the C blues page. And so the C major page is on 19, and then the C blues page is on page 20 of my toolbox here. So first let's look at the C major page on 19 and see if we can make some sense of some scales here. So the first scale you'll want to know is all the notes in white boxes, which is the C major scale. So that's Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So, La, Ti. And if you've ever learned anything about steps, going from C to D is called a whole step, D to E is called a whole step, E to F is a half step. Okay, so that was whole step, half step. And if you look down here on the piano, if we start on a C note here, a whole step is skipping a key, skipping a piano key. So it's going from C to D is a whole step, D to E is a whole step, E to F is called a half step, so we don't skip any keys on a half step. So we went whole step, half step, and then we're going to go whole step, whole step, whole step, and then there will be a half step to get to the next C. Okay, so that looks like this. We did a whole step to get to D, a whole step to get to E, a half step to get to the F, a whole step to get to the G, a whole step to get to the A whole step to get to the B, and then we have a half step back to the C. And that works. That step system works the same on every key. And so all 14 of the major keys. So we went whole step from C to D, that's a whole step, and then from D to E is a whole step, and then E to F is a half step. So we went whole step, half step, F to G is a whole step, G to A is a whole step, A to B is a whole step, and B to C is a half step. So that's Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So, La, Ti, Do. And the reason you're going to want to know those notes is because there's all kinds of different ways you can arrange the chords that are found within the key. So all these chords are found within the key of C major all the time. So these 6 chords are super common. And then here's some different ways you can arrange those 6 chords. And then if you know the notes of the scale, then you can pick out little melodies. So if I just goof around with these notes, so I'm just picking out notes that are in the C major scale and messing around with the order just to pick out some different kind of melody sounds. So to see the major scale, you're going to look at all the white notes, all the white box notes up here, and then on the keyboard jig, all the notes in white circles. Okay, and then you may hear people talk about pentatonic scales sometime. In a major pentatonic scale, it just takes, instead of those 7 notes in white boxes, we're just going to use 5 of those notes. And in my books, the major pentatonic notes are always underlined. So the notes C, D, E, G, and A make up your major pentatonic scale because those are my 3 underlined notes. And if you look down on my keyboard jig, all the notes that are underlined are my major pentatonic scales. It's also minor, but I'll talk about that in a different video. But if I want to play a C major pentatonic scale from C to C, I'm going to play the notes C, D, E, G, A, and then back to C. So I'm just going to skip what's called the 4 note and the 7 note, and I'll show you how that looks here on the piano. So we had C, D, E, G, A, C. You can make all kinds of cool little sounds using just pentatonic notes. And the thing about pentatonic scales, those underlined notes, is that they don't have a lot of sour notes. So I would use either the major scale, which is all the white boxes, or the major pentatonic, which is the underlined notes, to solo along with any kind of song like with these kind of chord progressions. And then if I want to do some bluesier kind of stuff, what I'm going to want to do is flip to the next page, and then in white boxes I'm going to have the notes of the C minor pentatonic scale. So I can play C major chord progressions like C major, F major, and G major, but if I solo using the minor pentatonic scale, then I'm going to get some bluesier kind of sounds. And you can see how all four scales I'm talking about today are built on all the blues pages. So major scales used all the 1 through 7 column notes, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Major pentatonic used 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 columns. So that was my underline notes on 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. And then the minor pentatonic is going to use what's called 1. So same old 1 note, but then the flat 3 note is different. So I'm going to use the 1 note. The flat 3 is E flat. And when I just play C, E flat, you'll already hear has a bluesier kind of sound. I can show you real quick here. I've got on down here all the white circled notes, all the notes in white circles are the C minor pentatonic scale. So if I play C, E flat, C, it sounds like this. Here's C, E flat, C. So instead of C, D, E, F, G, like Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So, I play C, E flat, and then back to C. And that already gives me a kind of bluesier sound. And then if I finish out that minor pentatonic scale, I'm going to play C, E flat, F, G, and then this what's called a flat 7. So the real 7 in the key of C major is a B note, so a flat 7 is a B flat, and that's going to give me a bluesier sound. So the real 3 was an E in the key of C, but I'm going to play a flat 3, and that's going to be an E flat. So to play that minor pentatonic, I'm going to play C, E flat, F, G, B flat, and that would look like this. C, E flat, F, G, B flat, and then back to C. So on the piano that would look like this. Here's C, E flat, F, G, B flat, C. Again, have had no piano lessons ever, so my fingering is probably awful if you're a classically trained person. But if I just play that C, E flat, F, G, B flat, C, then I can get all kinds of bluesy kind of sounds just by playing the minor pentatonic. And I can use that minor pentatonic scale if someone's playing like a 12-bar blues in C, or if they're playing some of these kind of rock progressions that have some chords that are outside of the key. In my books, anything in italics is outside of the key, and so it's going to have some tension. So this note is in italics because it's outside of the key of C major, but it's in white boxes because it's part of that C minor scale, which is going to give me cool bluesy sounds. So C, E flat, F, G, B flat, that's my minor pentatonic, and then if I want to make it a blues scale, I can add what's called a flat 5 note. And so my 5 note in the key of C is a G note, and my flat 5 is going to be a G flat, and it's going to be shown with an asterisk in my book just to try and make it a little less busy here, but there's my flat 5 note. So the blues note or flat 5 note is shown with an asterisk. So I can play that same thing from C to C, but this time I'm going to play C, E flat, F, G flat, my bluesy kind of note, G, B flat, C, and that would look like this. Here's C, E flat, F, G flat, G, B flat, C. So that B flat note, or that G flat note, that flat 5 has a real kind of bluesy sound. So if you can visualize each of these scales in all the different keys, then it's real easy to start picking out some melodies and things like that. And that's why I set up a page like this for all 14 of the major keys and blues keys, and then relative minor keys, which I'll explain in a different video. But the relative minor keys, like the C minor, the key of C minor, is also going to use the same C minor pentatonic we just used for the C blues kind of stuff. So it's a lot to take in, but you can print off a free G major page and G blues page on my website, and all the instructions that come with the book for free. And hopefully you found something useful and maybe saw a different way to look at the piano. I appreciate you taking a look, and please subscribe if you did. Thanks a lot.